New legislation in the Ohio Senate could change how schools deal with threats. The bill introduced by Senator Jim Hughes would allow schools to expel students for up to 60 days and allow school administrators to require mental health evaluations before that student returns to class. This comes after several threats in Central Ohio in the last 6 months. Most recently at Big Walnut High School. 2 weeks ago, a note about bombs hidden in the school was found in the bathroom. Students there dismissed early. Nothing was found. In Utica, in November, a student charged with inducing panic with an email threat that canceled the high school homecoming and the football game. And in October, a 16-year-old student was arrested for allegedly trying to bring a gun and threatening students and staff at Hilliard-Darby High School. Authorities say he tried to bring gasoline to the school but was stopped when students overheard the plan and alerted teachers. Hilliard Police and School District helped develop this new legislation. NBC4's Olivia Fecto is live at the State House tonight with a look at what this legislation could do and how parents are reacting. Olivia?
Well, Mike, the superintendent in Hilliard says right now, if a student makes a threat, he or she can come back to classes after a set amount of time. Now, if this new legislation goes into effect, a mental health evaluation would be required to make sure that student isn't a threat. As school threats surface in Central Ohio, Hilliard Superintendent Dr. John Marshhausen says schools need to take action.
We want to be able to make sure that the child is of sound mind and doesn't need additional mental health services before they return to school.
In October, a school threat left his hands tied. School officials wanted to do a mental health evaluation of the student who made the threat.
And mom and dad didn't want to do that. And under their current law, there's only so long we could exclude the student before the student was able to come back to school.
Under new proposed legislation in Ohio, students who make threats could be expelled for up to 60 days and undergo an evaluation before returning to class.
I think it's invasive. I think it's a little bit intrusive. I think I would be resistant to it.
Robert McKeeman is a father of 3 kids who go to Dublin schools. When we caught up with him at a park in Hilliard, he told us he thinks this is a slippery slope. Other parents, like Marcus McIntyre, say it's a good idea. He worries about his 5-year-old going to school.
Very scared, very nervous every day.
Still, he thinks there could be pushback from parents.
People sometimes like to get very naive when you say something about their children, and they should take it to heart, because if another person sees that, then maybe you should take a step back and be like, let me really look and evaluate my kid.
Well, we asked the school district how all of this would work if the legislation passes. The superintendent says the school would pay for the cost of the evaluation unless parents decide they want to get it done on their own through a family doctor or a mental health provider. If the parents refuse to do it, the child would have to have some sort of alternative education rather than a traditional class setting, something like online courses or home instruction. Live in Columbus, Olivia Fecto, NBC4.